Well, welcome again, everybody, to another exciting episode of Fuel Stop Chats. I'm Chris,
I'm James.
and tonight it's rant and vent night. And I'm going to say rant and vent because they're kind of two different things, I think.
I agree. I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Like venting, I got this thing I want to get off my chest. Ranting, there are things going on in the world that are absolutely pissing me off. You know what I'm saying?
Nope,
So maybe I'm
I agree.
venting, maybe I'm ranting. I don't know. But by the way, I like the new background you got going on. Your
I
wife let you
appreciate
back in
that.
the house.
Yeah, I'm actually up in my office right now. There's some lawn maintenance going on. So Chris and I usually record on Thursday nights. It's nice. It's quiet. About 9 p.m. You'll see a couple cars go by on the road. I can sit outside. It's a little bit cooler out. Enjoy a stogie, maybe a little bourbon. And it's relaxing because everybody gets to see me in the garage. I got the car behind me, the bikes, whatever, usually trash bins, everything. So I went to go out there this afternoon, and my house is westerly facing. So the sun's going down. It's about 2 p.m. on Sunday. The sun is blaring in, and everybody seems to be doing their lawns right now. So I've got pollen. I've got heat because I am in Tampa, and it's about 90 degrees out already. And everybody's got their lawn machines going. So it's just nothing but noise, pollen, and heat. So I have retreated indoors to my cozy, but not often used office. And here we are.
Yeah, I'm glad we're recording this because it sounded like a guy that lives in Florida was whining about several things keeping him inside. When just a couple of weeks ago, I think it was, there were some text messages about, hey, it's snowing up here and haha, MFer, it's nice and 75 down here. And just, I think that was this guy in Florida. It probably was somebody else, but
No, it was somebody else.
yeah.
It had to have been Yvonne.
No, Yvonne, probably. Yeah, he's
probably.
Snarky. So, in the world of things, I'm going to start this off because you and I were talking earlier today about, what we, James and I, by the way, we communicate throughout the week about myriad topics.
Yeah.
And one of the topics that came up was the situation going on in Ukraine. And what it reminded me of is, James, do you play any online games?
I used to. I haven't in a long time.
Well, I started playing Forge of Empires, I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago. And there's guilds, right, that get organized, and there's a social aspect to it. So you've got your guild mates if you join a guild, and they work together as a team, and you can help each other develop better and faster and quicker. And anyway, and one of the things that was interesting about this online game was I play the game as a mental escape from whatever the heck's going on in the world that minute. And it's fun, occupy your mind, little strategy, little go battle, whatever. And then there's always this cool little side conversation, the social part of the game and all these different chat threads. And this is my third guild, because the first guild, I didn't even know what a guild was when I first started playing. And I didn't realize how inept or inactive the guild was. And then somebody said, hey, you should join this other guild. And I did. And I watched this need for people to express power in the most silliest of ways. Like, if you don't agree with me, I'm going to take my guild and go somewhere else. And I was thinking about Vladimir, and I'm thinking, I wonder if he's one of the characters in this Forge of Empires game, because that's exactly how he acts. It's like, you took my oil, you took my programmers, you took basically my first world development, and I'm going to go take it back.
Yep.
And I'm going to, so I'm going to organize my army. I'm going to launch Go. I'm not going to auto battle though, because I'm too control freakish. So I'm going to control every battle, every move, every manipulation. And it strikes me as odd that the level people will go to exert power over other people.
Yeah, he's the Jimmy Johnsons of presidents.
Yeah.
He's from the owner's box to the sidelines, taking over the team. I don't know.
Well, they're not Super Bowl champs.
No.
Dan Schneider, you want to talk about like horrible owners in the NFL? Dan Schneider. When's the last time the Washington Redskins were good? Right before he took over. And here's an interesting thing. That guy has fielded some of the best talent in the game. But because they couldn't work as a unit and he wouldn't let the coaches and GMs do their job, his exertion of power is actually limiting their success.
Yes.
100%. And so I'm looking at Putin and I'm going, man, like your power hungry nature is going to limit your success. The rest of the world's going to look at that and go, I'm not down with that. You can't just arbitrarily say, hey, what's today? Tuesday? You know what we ought to do? We ought to just go invade Ukraine. Why Ukraine? I don't know. I'm bored. Let's go.
It's not that world anymore. It's not, 200 years ago where it's, I want that. I'm going to take it because I'm stronger than you.
Oh, it's not that world anymore.
Well, it shouldn't be.
I'm thinking about Aleppo. I'm thinking about different places in Africa where the UN drops off a big pallet of rice, and the guy that has the biggest gun goes and sits on the pallet of rice, and
Yes.
he controls, right? He dominates that little sphere of influence because he's hungry for power. Where if he distributed the rice equally and managed it, right, and everybody was on board with it, they could have some success. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm not saying I'm a fan of socialism, because I'm not. I think there needs to be a democratic process, but there are social aspects, just like in this country. Does the government regulate power prices? Yes. Because if they didn't, my electric bill would be $3,000 a month.
Yeah.
Right. They regulate some food and drug administration things. Right. I wish they would regulate the health insurance industry, put some caps and caveats in there, but I still want to be able to elect the people that are making those choices for me by proxy. Right. And the Ukrainians had no voice in this. It's like, hey, Vlad, let's have a conversation, bro. I think we could work together. No, I'm going to dominate you. I'm the world. And here we are with another first world power exerting themselves over someone for no reason. Like, what did the Ukraine do to piss him off?
They existed.
Yeah. It's mind boggling in 2022 that you could go back through Russian history and certainly pick out a few dictatorial type people. But anyway, I found this comment. You and I were having this conversation. This thing happens online with this game. And I was laughing because I was like, this is just a little microcosm of an exertion of power. And it's just how people are wired, I guess. I don't know. But and then there's fun stuff in there. Like this one girl that she subscribes and lists. PSP, how you doing? I know she listens to the show. She comments every once in a while when she watches it with her aunt, Tia Paloma, and so there's fun, cool stuff, parts of it too. But then there's always this group of people that are like, what is going on? Like, it's a game. Like, it's a game. And everybody asks me, like in World Travels, hey, Chris, like, what do you think? Those people are so different. Those people aren't any different than us. They just want to raise their family. They want to eat. They want to make a decent buck. They're not that you have it all wrong. This is a handful of people that are being advertised as the control of this body of people. The Russians are not behind this. The Chinese people are not behind some of the stuff that goes on with the Chinese government. They're just trying to live.
Yeah, it's telling when you say that the Russians are not behind us. It's just a select group of people at the very highest levels that are behind this. And to really bring that home, you look at what's taking place in that country right now. And I know this is a motorcycle podcast, and we're going to get into that. And
I'm going to stop you right there. Here's why this came up. There's a group of guys in the Ukraine that ride. They do motorcycle tours. And by the way, their business is getting shot all to hell because, well, let's face it, I'm not jumping on a plane to go to the Ukraine to take a motorcycle tour. And so that's what got us started, because there's this another guy I've made contact with who has a touring business in Nepal. And, you know, it's like, hey, let's go to Nepal and do this motorcycle tour. Well, is that a good place to go right now in the world? You
Right.
know, and so anyway, the Ukraine thing is 100% relevant because you and I are getting ready to go overseas and take in the Isle of Man TT races in June. Well, I don't know what's going to happen between now and June in the world,
Yep.
but all I, Vlad, if you're listening, don't be dicking up my birthday trip. Just stop it.
Yeah.
So anyway,
But yeah, and then there was, we have a TikTok channel, and it's mainly, I think it's me playing with either the dog, the cat, or making some food right now. I don't really have a lot of motorcycle stuff on there, a few things, but not a lot. But there was something on TikTok that I had come across with a user. His name was Lillian 1988, and I believe it's him in the sidecar with two of his buddies on the bike. It's like a Russian Earl or Ural motorcycle, and they came across a Russian mortar sitting on two wheels, and they hooked it up the back of their motorcycle, and they just took off with it.
I love it.
It's one of the funniest videos I see. You see the tractors pulling the tanks and all that. It just cracks me up. These guys are pulling their shit on a motorcycle and taking off with it.
Did you see the T-72 on sale on eBay?
Yeah.
The Ukrainians are selling used Russian tanks.
And the Ukrainian said, you don't have to pay taxes if you sell it.
Yeah, we'll give it to you without taxes, tax free.
No, but you were talking about, the Russians not being behind this, and it's really just a select group. If, you're not really thinking that, and you're sort of thinking that all Russians are bad, you have to look at what's going on in there. So within Russia, there's no social media outlets anymore. Those have all been closed. Any outside news agencies have all been shut out. They are locking people up for 15 years if they mention the word war or invasion. They're not allowed to say those two words. If you use that word as a journalist inside the country of Russia, you're going to jail for 15 years. Now, if that was a free country, if that was a country where the people were really in charge and had a say in it, then those things wouldn't be taking place. That's fear from the upper levels. I saw a video on BBC. Two cops were dragging away an 87-year-old lady because she was protesting. Literally dragging her down the street and putting her into a paddy wagon because she protested.
It's crazy.
Yeah, crazy. But on TikTok, look for the video. They had like 1.2 million views on this thing. It's been shared. It took me a while to go down the rabbit hole to find who the originator was.
That's hilarious.
Lillian,
I need to find that.
Yeah, LILLIAN 1988. Great. And he's got a bunch of other videos on there of shit that they're doing. And it's jackass to the degree. I think Johnny Knoxville could take a note on that one. It's just hilarious. So
that reminds me of do you remember Dino the dinosaur at the Sinclair stations?
Yeah.
The big plastic dinosaur they'd have outside. I heard a story about group of guys in high school backing up and hooking up to one of those on a trailer and hauling it off.
You wouldn't have been in that truck, would you?
I just heard about it. I didn't say I was part of it, James. Let's don't get accusatory. Let's just keep people out of this. Protect the innocent. So anyway, we were talking about the Ukraine. We were talking, and again, the whole premise of this show is what are guys talking about when they stop for fuel?
Yeah.
Speaking of fuel, like what's gas prices like down there where you're at?
I don't know. It's just, I'm watching it go up, 10 cents, 20 cents a day.
It's over $4 here for regular gas now.
I think it's like $3. Well, yeah, I use premium and it was $4 something. I think our cheap gas is like $3.70, $3.80, somewhere in there.
$4.
But it's gone up considerably.
$4. And you think about the world, and you think about this is another one. Okay, so I'm going to go off on a tangent pet peeve here, because I say the premise of the show is what do guys talk about when they stop for fuel? I'm for sure going to talk about the price of gas. when I
Yeah,
stop
because
for
we just
fuel.
got done filling our tanks going,
Like, what the heck's going on here? Yeah. So as we're sitting at this fuel stop ranting about this fuel price, we have either the largest or the second largest repository of natural gas in the world. And
yes.
it's like 285 a gallon. It varies. It goes up a little and down a little, but it's almost, it's $1.50 cheaper per gallon. And I'm like, it's cleaner burning. It's plentiful. Like, why aren't we? And there was this small period of time when everybody was all about making stuff run on natural gas. Remember those buses, and you could rent some fleet vehicles. Ford had a whole list of vehicles that you could buy conversion kits for, right? And you could convert them over pretty easy. I think like what's the cops, the car that the town.
My parents, they had an RV that would run off of LP.
Yeah, Lincoln Town Car. No, what's the cops use? What is it? Oh, it's
Crown
the
Vic.
Crown Vic. Yeah,
Yeah.
the Crown Vic was one of them. You could convert it over and run on propane. So I'm thinking, why are we like, we need to get our head out of our butts when it comes to this thing, or with this electric stuff. Because I'm thinking to myself the other day, like California with the rolling brownouts, what if everybody had an electric car? Lord have mercy, so you look at that and you go, okay, 200,000 gallons of diesel fuel to get lithium out of the ground to make batteries. Super clean, right? Diesel trucks working in mines, hardly any exhaust fumes at all, right?
None.
Super green.
None.
And then you look at this natural gas thing and you go, well, wonder what it would cost if we just flipped it all to natural gas. Like, it's plentiful.
And I am not up to speed on everything. I would say that I'm an idiot when it comes to the mining of natural gas, but I thought the majority of the reserves that we have are, you have to frack for it.
That's oil.
Okay, now I thought it was natural gas too, like everything that was going on up in North Dakota and all that, you had to frack for it, which I mean, I haven't really heard a lot of good things about fracking. It was really good at the beginning, and then people's water started catching on fire. So I don't know. I'm not.
There's always going to be some minor details to work out, but we have a lot of natural gas in this country, and we're not taking advantage of it. It just drives me nuts, because there are a lot of ways that we could cut down on gas prices, right? I mean, stop using it, supply and demand, and this alternative fuel thing, 100% electric. I saw I had a friend of mine who used to work for UE in Missouri, and the largest consumer of diesel fuel in the state was the power company. They were buying thousands and thousands and thousands of gallons of diesel fuel to run power plants. And if look, it's either going to run on coal, it's going to run on diesel, it's going to run on water, or nuclear. Nuclear so far has proven itself to be the safest,
yes,
and cheapest way to generate electricity. And everybody got freaked out. So what do? They start shutting those down, and here we are. But it goes to the point that I think a lot of times in the world we overcomplicate things. And we always make the answer is always, it's really complex, man. It's really complex. And it's like, if it's that complex, then maybe it should be taxes, just the IRS. I mean, we're coming up on April 15th here, looming pretty soon. And you go look at US tax codes, and it's literally like from the floor to the ceiling, right? Go study that and learn that and be a tax attorney or a CPA, right? And it's like, what if everybody paid 12%? And there wasn't any tax code. There was no loopholes. There was no get out of jail free. Like, everybody pays 12% on capital gains. There's no way around it. And if you think you're going to get around it by getting paid in stock and then selling stock and saying, well, that's not capital gain, so it's less. Well, it's capital gain, so it's cheaper than earned income, right? Because of the tax code. Nope. There is no tax code. 12 points. I don't care. You sell stock, 12%. you go buy some clothes, food, maybe there's no tax. You go buy a car, 12%, TV, 12%. You earn $1, pay 12 cents.
Yeah.
And
I've
just
always been a
get rid of all the, get rid of all the tax codes and loopholes. There's no way for you there's no amount of wealth that would let you manipulate the system to avoid paying the tax. If you just did away with the tax, it's too complex. No, it's not. I became king today, and for one day only, I just got rid of an age. The IRS doesn't exist anymore. Like, they don't exist. I can collect your 12 cents on the dollar at the cash register. I don't need you. And I don't need arbitration about people's tax laws and when they file and, the attorney did his job and he got you this thing. And it's like, no, it goes away. It's gone tomorrow. 12 cents. Every dollar you get, 12 cents.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. It's not just every dollar you get. I think that every dollar you get should be yours. Every dollar you spend.
Well,
because I'm getting taxed 12 cents for that dollar when I get it.
Yeah.
And then if I got to go spend it, that the remaining 88 cents, I'm going to get taxed another 12 cents. Or
sales tax, whatever. Right. 6 points on sales tax and whatever else tax. Here we're fortunate in Pennsylvania to have the highest gas taxes in the United States. I think that's awesome. My roads suck. The schools aren't great. Like, what are you doing with that tax money? Show me something for it. I don't mind paying it if you could show me. We have the best public schools in the United States. No, we don't. We have the best healthcare in the United States. No, we don't. We have the best mass transit in the United States. No, not even close.
No,
we have the best roads.
You have the most Super Bowl titles.
Yeah, narrow margin.
Two teams.
Yeah, between the two teams. Yeah.
Between the two teams.
Narrow margin. Yeah. 6 for one and 1 for the other. So, yeah. It's just, I don't know, man. I think about every time somebody says to me, it's way complicated. It's more complicated than that. I think to myself, then simplify it. Like Bill, who has a 3rd grade education, should understand how the tax code works. Bill, who has a PhD in economics, should understand how the tax code works and all points in between. If it's that complex, it's wrong. And it's that complex because somebody had something to hide. It's the old game of, hide it in plain sight. You see it on TV all the time, like, send me over your discovery. And the truck shows up like, here's all my notes for this trial. And it's like, you provide it, but you just bury it in a bigger haystack. Well, that's what's going on with, because look, how can a politician who's been in office 47 years and the highest elected position that person's ever had in their life was 175 grand a year until they became president?
Millionaire.
They 400 grand a year, right? Now, I don't know about you, but I want to talk to their financial advisor because those guys are multimillionaires and they never made more than 175. I mean, like, how's that possible? Like, where'd that money come from? And again, I go back to simplify it. Don't leave a place to hide it. There's no way to hide it.
Yep.
Simplify it. And stop telling the American people it's too complex. It's more complex than that. You don't understand. No, I do understand. It's the same way that a Tylenol costs me $4 in the hospital and it's 32 cents if I go buy a bottle of them. Like, dude, what? And if I go to Mexico, it's 10 cents. Why? Well, that's what the market demands. Yep. This market in the United States is going to demand that we start paying 10 cents too.
Well, I told you, I'm looking at an escape plan. Do 90 days in a country. I looked at Argentina, and there's a woman that we know that she's Argentinian. She goes there. We were talking to her last week, and I said,
politics in Argentina, though, dude, that place is.
But here's the thing: I don't have to be a part of that. I'm going there on a 90-day vacation visa. So I'll do 90 days there. I'll go to Peru for 90 days. I'll go to Brazil for 90 days. I'll come back to the States for 90 days, whatever. I'll just travel around. But the money down there. I mean,
dollar goes
I told her, I said, I can budget $3,000 a month. And she looked at me and she said, "You're rich." She goes, "I go down there $500 every 2 weeks." She goes, "That's all
What?
you need, $500 every 2 weeks. So for $1,000 a month, and that's paying for all of her food, that's paying for where she's staying, that's paying.
What kind of hotel? What kind of food? I mean,
I've looked at some places down there. The one place was, I sent you the link on that. It was like that A-frame loft house looking
yeah,
over
yeah.
the lake. That was $375 a month
Oh
for a
wow.
furnished house.
Yeah, yeah. I know. Could be good.
It's just pennies to the dollar because it's stuff like that. It's 10
Yeah.
cents for a Tylenol down there instead of.
I told you I looked at Ecuador pretty hard. I read an article in a
I'll do
magazine.
that
Gosh,
too.
this is probably 20 years ago, and they were talking about, places to retire. They take the dollar. They got decent health care. Pick your climate by elevation. You can go
Yeah.
from water to mountaintop, any place in between. Um, yeah, if I could convince my wife, that'd be great. I could retire early.
Yeah. I told Ro 5 years.
Grandkids up the street, man, it changes everything.
Providence goes into college next year. Stick around here, make sure she makes it through that. And
Yeah,
in 5 years we reevaluate and just see, where are we at with our financials. I'll be 57 at that point. I want to enjoy my retirement.
you're
I
so
don't
young.
need millions of dollars in the bank. And that's what it's really come down to. I've always had the focus of, I need this set figure because I need to have this set lifestyle. Do I really need that set lifestyle? Priorities change as I get older. I want to ride to Ushuaia. I want to ride. I want to get down there. I want a
Yeah,
BMW 650 even, and
yeah,
just to ride and to experience the roads and the people and the culture, the fucking food, just all of it. And I
yeah.
want to do it with people that I'm comfortable doing that stuff with, and it's really driving it home. We have Disorderly Drifters on. Hopefully you guys are
Yeah.
doing good, and we need to get you back on here soon. It's been a few months, see where you're at. But you look at there's a group of kids, and I mean, I call them kids because they're in their 30s.
They're
They're
kids, kids
yeah,
to us.
they're kids,
Sell everything, buy a Honda Monkey, see the world.
right?
I'm jealous. I told them that last time. I'm like, look, man, I'm poking at you guys. Like, if you don't mind being homeless and you don't mind, I said that jokingly, but honestly, I think back to what I was doing when I was 30. I'm like, man, I should have done that. I don't know. So
I
yeah,
mean,
I hear you.
I don't really do that. I mean, I look back at that. I was when we were starting my family. It was, there,
Yeah,
it,
same here. Yeah,
it, you
would have
know,
been hard, but
Guy McDonald, who's a listener and friend of ours, we were sitting around. We did a thing for the people that are listening in Florida. There's a charity that we went out and we did some work with this past week. We call it a day of caring for the company that we work for. But Duggar was out there, and other people as well. My wife joined us. A lot of people had their wives out there, but we just did some just ground maintenance and built some structures for some people. But there's a thing down here called My Warrior's Place. It's in Ruskin. Check them out. A great charity to support. It's a complete 501 Charlie nonprofit, taking care of veterans that have PTSD or the Gold Star families. It's just like a retreat place for them to go and just get some convalescence for a few weeks. But yeah, so we were down there and we were sitting around after we got done for the day, and we were talking about that. There was a couple, this guy Keith was there. He was in there, on his Harley, and we were talking about riding. He's like, "Well, I'll go out for 5 hours for a ride," and my wife's like, "Yeah, I used to say I'm just gonna go out for an hour or two, gone for the day. You get on a ride and you get in that zone and you ride all day."
yeah,
And I brought up the Disorderly Drifters and sort of being jealous on that it's just to unplug and explore. And everybody was like sort of in awe of their story of like, oh shit. I was like, yeah, when they get to Ushuaia, they're going to send all their shit to Cape Town and
Yeah.
then do that and eventually make their way to Mongolia. They're like, oh, holy crap. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
But, as I'm getting older, I'm reevaluating, like I said, what are the priorities? How much money do I really need? I need a
I
lot.
hear you.
If I'm going to live in Miami, I'm going to need a lot. If I'm going to live in New York, I'm going to need a lot. If I'm going to live
Yeah.
in, Ecuador, not as much.
Yeah. No, I'm with you, man. I think about it a lot. I think about it an awful lot. I mean, I'm gonna turn 60 in June. I'm thinking I think about it a lot. But I don't know, man. I definitely think it's cool. Those kids, they're out there doing their thing and traveling the world. And DD, if you guys are listening, mad respect. We need to touch base again. I think they're in Guatemala last I checked.
Yeah, I think so. Just like
Yeah.
Tracy too. Tracy, is our age,
Yeah.
unplugged, sold it all, out, gone.
Yeah. Living the life, man. We're
Living
all
the life.
envious. We're all envious. So anyway, dude,
You getting out and doing any riding right now?
it is well, I had my gallbladder taken out last Tuesday,
That's right.
and my nurse has been like a nurse Cratchit with the whole bike thing. It's like it was sunny and 70 degrees yesterday, and I was like, one of the three of those motorcycles should be out and about. In fact, I should probably take them all out for a little bit,
Well, you
right?
should.
Yeah, I mean, it's the right thing to do. She's like, no, you're not getting on a bike until your appointment's on the 9th. And he said, at least this much time and da 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 da. And I was like, look, I don't plan on picking these things up.
You
You know, I
probably
don't,
get more vibration out of your truck than that 1600.
well, on the big truck for sure, but now I got the little Tacoma. It's pretty smooth compared to
Yeah.
it's a little smoother. Yeah, the big truck, man. If you don't have 1,000 pounds in the bed, that thing's like riding on a rigid. It's stiff. But yeah, so anyway, the weather's, we're waiting on a good rain, get rid of the cinders there because they're all piled up at the intersections. And it's the worst place in the world to have a pile of cinders. You pull up there to stop, and it's like
Yeah.
it's like riding on marbles. Hopefully that'll stop soon. But yeah, I mean it's always time to ride up here.
It's always time.
I don't care if it's 50 degrees, 30 degrees, just dress right, be smart. But yeah, I'm dying to go somewhere. In fact, Terry was talking to me the other day and he said, hey, I thought we were going to do this little getaway weekend thing. And I was like, yeah, me too, until they said about my gallbladder had to come out. And so we may take off in April and do like a 4 or 5 day, Vegas, rent a bike, Death Valley, kind of Barstow, the circle we did, right?
Yeah.
And just do a quick 4-day thing. But because he's the same way. He's like, dude, we got to get out. We got to get out. And I said, let's go somewhere warm and ride, man. Let's do it.
Yeah, I've been trying to figure something out, do something, but to be honest with you, all of my finances are really wrapped up with the Isle of Man TT. I don't want to have to skip on anything there.
Yeah.
To enjoy a weekend that I can do at any time here.
I'm going to go over there unconscious. I already told my wife, I'm like, look, I'm taking my credit card and we made all our reservations already.
Yeah, everything's all paid for. All the hotels are paid for. The bike.
I got to get the rental car. I still got to get that.
That's it. You got to get the rental car. I mean, I already paid for the ferry tickets.
Ferry, yeah. That's it.
It was a lot more expensive than I thought it was going to be.
The rental car and the ferry are kind of ridiculous, but
yeah.
Again, I don't care. I don't care. This has been on the box. This has been on the bucket list for decades. And this is as good a year as any to go get it done.
Yeah, I like your statement of this has always been on a bucket list, and then us renting motorcycles and riding the course is just like the handle.
Come on, man. This is like this is and in October we're gonna go see F1 Austin, right?
Yep. I thought you were gonna go hunting.
Well, I'm supposed to go to hunting cabin.
Yeah.
And do some prep work before November's hunting season.
Okay.
but you said your birthday was coming up and you wanted to do this for your birthday. And it's like,
Yep.
how big a dick am I that he goes to Scotland with me and I can't go to Texas with him for his birthday? I couldn't even, I told Tammy, I said, I know you have no desire to go to an F1 race and could care less, but she goes, oh, you got to go. You got to go.
Telling you, you got to get Tammy started on F1 on Netflix.
Yeah, I tried.
It's so
I've tried. I know. I've tried. It's just not her thing, man. I'm going to take her to the beach in September. We're going to a wedding. And then we're going to go either before or after the wedding. We're going to have a week where she can go walk on the beach and get that ocean fixed. I think she was a mermaid or something at one point in her life. She has to touch salt water every so often or she gets kind of wiggy, which may have prompted the whole argument today. Like if I'd have taken her to the beach over the winter, no. So anyway, got that going on. October, we got the F1 event that we got to get to. We got to get that planned. But I am super stoked about the Isle of Man, dude.
Yeah.
I can't even I don't know.
And for our listeners, we're going to try to get as many interviews to meet as many people as we can. You'll see video clips from there. We'll have stuff on our TikTok. We'll have stuff on our Instagram. Stuff will be going up on the YouTube channel. We're taking you all with us.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Spirit. Because we can't afford all of you. We're taking us. And but as much as that we can take back to everybody that does listen or watch, it's wish you were all there camping with us, but we know that you can't be. And if any of you are, reach out to us. Let's get together.
Yeah. If you're going to be at the Isle of Man races, man, holler at us. Let us know. Social media, Fuel Stop Chats, gmail.com, Facebook, whatever, but get a hold of us and let us know you're going to be there. And you could join us for an episode of Fuel Stop Chats from the UK. And one of the guys was talking to me yesterday that covers a couple of accounts with me over in the UK. He asked me what I said, dude, the 30th, I'll be in Liverpool that night. And he goes, okay, I just got my hotel reservation made. So he's going to come down and join us for a pint. Good dude, Paul Robinson. He's going to join us for a night. And then on the island, I mean, dude, the ability to get on a bike and ride that course will change forever how I view that on TV, which is the whole point. And if you're thinking about going sometime in the future, catch a few spots on Fuel Stop Chats and walk through the whole event with us. And we'll tell you how we're doing it. I mean, we're not camping the whole time. We are camping on the island because, well, it's stupid to.
There was no other
way to go.
There was nothing else available. So
people had booked this 2 years ago.
Yeah,
it got postponed. And God bless the people over there for honoring the reservations and letting them roll because of the pandemic. So I'm not upset about that. But camping was the only way we could get there. And so, but when we go back to Edinburgh and we start that North Coast Scotland tour, we'll be staying at some hotels and a castle one night, I think, or something. I don't know. But
couple.
Yeah.
All right.
But again, I don't care what it costs. I mean, it's not something I'm going to do every year. It's not something, And,
no, this is the once in a lifetime right here.
And it's my 60th. I mean, dude, that's a milestone. We got to do something big. So anyway, dude, it's always great catching up with you, man.
I got to get downstairs and check out this roast. So I told you I'm making a swine apple.
Yeah, I heard that.
So I'll be putting this together. It'll be on the TikTok channel. But I was telling Rhoda, I was like, I want to figure out if I can do a pork roast inside a pineapple. I think that roasting, a pork shoulder would be just so good. If pork
tenderloin would slide right into a pineapple.
Yeah, and my wife, God bless her, she's like, I'll eat some questionable chicken. I don't fuck with pork. If pork is not cooked all the way, that could really mess you up.
That's for sure.
When you're cooking this inside a fruit, she goes, you might want to look for a recipe. So I Googled it, and actually the Food Network had this thing. It was called the swine apple. And I'm sort of taking their recipe, but I'm
Yeah.
making my own. So I got a pork loin roast that's in the oven right now, that's covered with hot Italian sausage. I took it out of the skin and just spread
Yeah.
it in there. It's with garlic and oregano and some chili powder, uh, onions, and just like a couple bouillon cubes and some water just to get
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
juice
Steam
in
it
it.
up.
So I'm going to take that out, take the hand mixer, hit it all together, blend it, strip it all down. I'll take a pineapple, lop the top off of it, pull out the core,
Yeah.
in the sides, and then I'm taking bacon and making like a weave
A
of
weave, little
bacon,
basket weave.
and
Yeah.
then rolling that pineapple in the bacon, putting the top back on it,
Yeah.
put it on the grill. I'm just gonna let it heat up in the grill for like an hour or so. Take it out, slice it up. Should be
Sounds pretty
pretty
tasty.
goddamn good.
I'll tell you what, man, if you want to put a superstar like next level finish on that, on the grill, there's nothing better than grilled pineapple. The sugars in the pineapple caramelize and it takes pineapple to another level. And what I like to do is take a cast iron skillet with just a little butter, right? Take a slice of pineapple and just sprinkle a little brown sugar on it. Let that caramelize in there and serve that up as a dessert item. And what you're talking about doing, you could slice and slap on a flat top and just get that little caramelization on that slice of pineapple and that little crispy on that sausage. That might be the finish right there, brother.
Could be, could be. I don't know. I'm gonna play
That way
around
you
with it.
could tell Ro, hey, for sure it's cooked.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Right. I got that bad boy to 170 degrees, putting it on that flat top, caramelize that pineapple, change your world, man.
Yeah, I like taking a good porterhouse or like a prime rib, throw it on the grill and slap some onion or some pineapple rings on it.
Yeah. Keep it
All right,
juicy.
got to go check the roast.
I'm
Brother,
hungry.
good catching up with you. Now I'm
Me
hungry.
too.
Exactly. So everybody, sorry we've been gone for a while, but yeah, even us, we need a break every now and then. So
Family stuff, man. It happens.
getting through the winter. When nobody's riding it, well, nobody's riding up north anyway. So
Guys were out tearing it up today, man.
I bet
Listening to bikes all day.
that had to be hell on your ears.
Yeah, it was rough, but I'll heal up. The doc should let me go next week, so I'll be back
All right.
out.
You better be healed by June 1st. So that's all I got to say.
Short of, well, even if I was in a wheelchair, I'd be there. I'm going.
Oh, I know. So am I.
If I have
All
to
right.
FedEx my ass over there in a box, I'm going.
Let's get out of here.
All right, brother.
Chris, as always, good seeing you. Thanks again for everybody that's listening. Again, check us out, Fuel Stop Chats on YouTube, Instagram, all of the good stuff. Check out ridehistory.com. Get with Chris, book a tour. And other than that, we'll see you guys in a week or two and ride her out.
Ride her out.